In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful. O you who covers himself with a garment.
Commentary. Surah Al-Muddaththir is one of the surahs that was sent down in very early days of the revelation. Therefore, some of the scholars considered this surah to be the first one in order of revelation. However, according to the well-known authentic al-Hadith, the first installment of revelation comprised the initial verses of Surah Iqra. Traditions show that after a few verses of the surah had been revealed, further revelation stopped for a period of time. The period of time during which there was a temporary cessation of revelation is termed as Fatratul Wahi. Toward the end of this period, an incident took place that is recounted by the Holy Prophet thus: while I was walking, I heard a voice from the sky. So I lifted my gaze towards the sky and saw the same angel who had come to me in the cave of Hira. He was sitting on a chair between the sky and the earth. So I was struck with awe until I fell down to the ground. Then I went to my family and I said, wrap me up, so they wrapped me up. Allah revealed the initial verses of Surah Al-Muddaththir. Sahihain, the Holy Prophet, is addressed in this surah as, O you, enveloped in a mantle. Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 1. The word Al-Muddaththir is derived from dithar, which refers to a thick, warm overgarment such as a cloak or mantle which a person wears in winter over his other clothes in order to protect himself from cold. The form of address is affectionate and endearing, as was explained under Al-Muzammil in the preceding surah. The two forms of address, Al-Muzammil and Al-Muddaththir, are near synonyms. Rule Ma'ani cites a report from Jabir ibn Zayd who says that Al-Muddaththir was revealed after Al-Muzammil. Some scholars attribute this narration to Sayyidina ibn Abbas W as well. However, according to the narration previously reported from Sahihain, it is clear that the first surah to be revealed after the temporary cessation was Al-Muddaththir. If Al-Muzammil was revealed before this, Sayyidina Jabir ibn Abdullah, the narrator of the hadith, would have narrated it. Clearly, Al-Muzammil and Al-Muddaththir are near synonyms. Therefore, it is very likely that the two surahs might have been revealed in connection with the same incident when the Holy Prophet, whilst walking, heard a voice from the sky and saw Jibril Amin sitting on a chair between the sky and the earth, and then went to the house and wrapped himself in a mantle. This at least confirms the point that the initial verses of the two surahs were among the first verses to be revealed after the temporary break in the revelation. It is, however, not clear as to which set of the verses was revealed first, and which was revealed subsequently. Authentic narratives confirm that the initial verses of Surah Iqra were first to be revealed. Al-Muzammil and Al-Muddaththir were though revealed approximately the same time in connection with the same incident. There is a difference between the two. The injunctions given at the beginning of Al-Muzammil are related to the Holy Prophet's personal purification and perfection, and in Al-Muddaththir the injunctions are related to preaching, propagation, and human reform.
Arise and warn.
Injunction 1. Stand up and warn. Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 2. Stand up could be taken in its primary sense. It will mean, remove the additional clothes in which you have wrapped yourself. It is also not unlikely that stand up means prepare yourself for the onerous task of reforming the creation of Allah. The command find here, and warn, comes from the infinitive indar, warning, which is based on love and affection, such as a father is warning his children against the dangers of a snake, scorpion, or fire. The prophets proclaim the divine message and warn its rejectors of the evil consequences of rejection. Therefore, they have received the titles of Nadhir and Bashir. Nadhir means the one who affectionately and endearingly warns people against harmful things, and Bashir refers to the one who gives glad tidings. The Quran has conferred both the titles on the Holy Prophet, and the Holy Book is replete with them. Here, however, the Quran takes it as sufficient to mention indar, to warn, because at the time of revelation of this verse there were only a handful of Muslims. The rest of the people were all rejectors and disbelievers. They needed to be warned and did not merit glad tidings.
And your Lord glorify.
Injunction 2. And pronounce the greatness of your Lord. Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 3. It means proclaim the greatness of your Lord both orally and practically. The attribute Rab, Lord, has been used in this context because it is itself the effective cause of the injunction, in that he is the sustainer, cherisher, and nourisher of the entire world. He alone is worthy of kibriya. The word takbir literally signifies to say, Allahu Akbar. This includes takbir of tarma in the beginning of prayers and other takbirs also. Takbir is recited outside the prayers as well, such as in Adhan and Iqamah. There is no indication in the Quran that this injunction specifically refers to uttering Allahu Akbar to commence the prayers.
And your clothing purify.
Injunction 3. And purify your clothes. Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 4. The word diyab is the plural of thawb. In its primary sense, it refers to clothes or garment. Metaphorically, the words thawb and libas at times refer to action, heart, soul, moral character, and religion. Man's body may also be referred to as libas. The Holy Quran and Arabic idioms bear ample testimony to this. Scholars of Tafsir have taken all these senses into account when interpreting this verse. The variant interpretations may not be suspected of contradiction or conflict. The different interpretations attached to the verse enrich its significance. Thus the verse would signify that the body and clothes must be kept clean from all kinds of physical impurity. The heart and soul must be kept clean from false beliefs and adulterating thoughts, and free from base morals or from moral decadence. From this it is deducible that it is forbidden to trail the pants or loincloth below the ankle, because this is likely to pollute the garment. The injunction of cleansing the garment may signify that the garment must not be made or bought of unlawful money. It must not be made in such a way as the sacred law does not permit. Apparently, the injunction of cleansing the clothes is not specific to prayers. The injunction applies under all conditions. Thus, the jurists have ruled that it is not permitted to keep the body and clothes unclean without necessity, even outside prayers. Likewise, it is not permitted to sit in an unclean place. In times of necessity, it would be an exception. Mazaro. The Holy Quran says, "Surely Allah loves those who are most repenting, and loves those who keep themselves pure." Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayah 222. And according to a hadith narrative, cleanliness is half the faith. Therefore, a Muslim, under all conditions and circumstances, needs to keep his body, clothes, and house clean and pure, and also maintain his inner cleanliness of the heart. And Allah knows best.
And uncleanliness avoid.
Injunction 4. And keep away from filth. Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 5. The letters are J's. It may be read as Rajs or Aras, and in either case the word has the same significance. Mujahid, Ikrimah, Qatada, Zuri, Ibn Zayd, and other leading authorities of Tafsir interpret the word Rajs as idols in this context. According to a narration of Say Ibn Abbas, it signifies any sin. The verse enjoins to give up idols or sins. Although the Holy Prophet never indulged in idolatry at any time in his life, he is commanded, for emphasis, to abstain from it in future as he kept away from it in the past. This command is in actual fact directed to the idolaters, so that they may realize the importance of abstaining from idol worship, as it enjoins the Holy Prophet to shun all filth, idols, and sins despite being sinless and infallible.
And do not confer favor to acquire more.
Injunction 5. And do no favor to anyone merely to ask more in exchange. Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 6. In other words, no gift should be given to anyone seeking to get back in return more than what was given. This indicates that it is reprehensible to give to someone a gift with the intention that the person will give him a higher gift. Although it seems to be allowed by another verse of the Quran for common people, yet it is reprehensible and morally unrighteous, especially for the Holy Prophet. It is unlawful, as explained by Ibn Abbas.
But for your Lord be patient.
Injunction 6. And for the sake of your Lord, observe patience. Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 7. The word sabr literally signifies to restrain oneself. In the Quranic context, the word has a very wide scope. It signifies to bind oneself to the laws of Allah, to restrain oneself from things made unlawful by Allah, and to control oneself, as far as possible, from unnecessary bewailing and complaining in times of difficulties and hardships. Thus this injunction is rather comprehensive, which embraces almost the entire religion. On this occasion, the Holy Prophet is directed to observe patience, particularly because the earlier verses have directed him to invite the people towards the true faith and to avoid the infidelity and shirk. It is obvious that he will be opposed and persecuted by the forces of evil as the result of his missionary efforts. He should therefore be ready to bear all opposition and persecution with patience and fortitude. Having given these few injunctions to the Holy Prophet, the verses further refer to the hereafter and its horrors. The word nakwar means trumpet, and the verb nakira means to blow into the trumpet so that it makes a loud high sound. After stating that the day of doom will be very horrible for all the infidels, a particular arrogant and conceited disbeliever has been described. He was a great mischief maker, and the gravity of his punishment will befit the enormity and gravity of his sins.
And when the trumpet is blown,
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 7, for the Tafsir.
that day will be a difficult day.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 7, for the Tafsir.
For the disbelievers, not easy.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 7, for the Tafsir.
Leave me with the one I created alone.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 7, for the Tafsir.
And to whom I granted extensive wealth.
The annual income of Walid ibn Mughira, 10 million guineas. The disbeliever referred to here as Walid ibn Mughira. Allah had favored him with abundant wealth, property, and children. According to Ibn Abbas, his land, property, and gardens stretched from Mecca to Taif. According to Thori, his annual income was 10 million dinars. Some scholars have estimated less than this amount. It is nonetheless agreed that the income and yearly produce of his fields and gardens were available in every season, winter or summer. Thus the Quran says, "And I gave him extensive wealth, 12 and sons present before his eyes." Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12-13, he was recognized as the Arab leader. He was known among his fellow citizens by the title of Rayhana, the fragrance of the Quraysh. He himself used to boastfully refer to himself as Wahid ibn al-Walid Unique, the son of the unique, meaning neither I had any match in my nation, nor my father Mubhara. Quotable. But he was ungrateful to Allah for his favors. Despite accepting Quran as the word of Allah, he imputed a lie to the Quran, calling it sorcery and calling the Holy Prophet as sorcerer. Tafsir of Qutubah recounts the story thus: when the following passage of the Quran was revealed, the Holy Prophet was reciting it, Hamim. 1. This is revelation of the book from Allah, the Mighty, the All-Knowing. 2. The one who forgives sins and accepts repentance, the one who is severe in punishment, the one who is the source of all power. There is no God but He. To Him is the ultimate return of all. 3. Surah Dafir, Ayah 1-3. Walid ibn Mughira, hearing the recitation, exclaimed spontaneously, in which he was forced to concede as follows by Allah: I have heard such a speech from him, Muhammad, as can neither be the speech of a mortal nor of jinn. It has sweetness and elegance. Its upper part is fruit-bearing, and its lower part causes water to flow. Its beauty, no doubt, surpasses the beauty of all speeches and cannot be superseded. It is not the speech of any human being. When the Quraysh heard about what the great wealthy Arab leader had to say, it created a great convulsion in the Quraysh, because it resulted in a wide inclination of the people towards Islam. This was a cause for concern for the leaders of the Quraysh. They gathered and discussed that if Walid were to embrace the Islamic faith, the rest of the Quraysh would soon follow suit. Abu Jahl put their mind at ease when he took upon himself the responsibility of speaking to him and solving the problem. Dialogue between Abu Jahl and Walid to concur on the Holy Prophet's veracity. Abu Jahl went to Walid and sat next to him, pretending to be very sad. Walid inquired, "What is the matter? Why do you look so sad?" Abu Jahl made the reply, "The Quraysh decided to collect money for you and help you in your old age. Now they have learned that you visit Muhammad T and son of Abu Quhafa, say, Ibn Abu Bakr, so that you may have some eatables from them, and to this end you flatter them. You praise their speech." Obviously, it was a lie that the Quraysh was collecting money to help Walid. The lie was invented merely to make him angry. Similarly, it was also a lie that he was getting food from the Holy Prophet. Walid was highly enraged on hearing this. His anger knew no bounds and said in arrogance and conceit, "How can the Quraysh think this? I swear by Lat and Uzza, the 2 Arabian idols, I am not in need of their food. Do they not know that I am superior to them in abundance of wealth? However, when you say that Muhammad is insane, nobody would believe it. Did you ever see him perform any act of insanity?" Abu Jahl replied, "You till the Jai, never by God." He said, "You claim that Muhammad is a soothsayer. Did you hear him speak like a soothsayer?" Abu Jahl's reply was again in the negative. Then Walid said, "You say that he is a poet. Did you hear him recite poetry?" When Abu Jahl declared that he had not, Walid added, "You say that he is a liar. Did you ever heard him telling a lie?" Abu Jahl was forced to concede that they had never heard him tell a lie. In fact, they had conferred upon him the titles of as-Sadiq, the truthful, and Al-Amin, the honest. Then Walid said, "You say that he is a soothsayer. Have you then seen him uttering such words or doing such acts as the soothsayers are accustomed to? We know well the utterings of the soothsayers. Muhammad's discourse cannot be held as the utterance of a soothsayer." Abu Jahl again had to admit, "No, by God." Now Abu Jahl had to withdraw from all such false allegations, but he was wondering what he should say to the people about the Holy Prophet to stop them from following him. So he said to Walid, "Then, you tell me what we should say about him." Walid started thinking, then he raised his eyes towards Abu Jahl, frowned in a hateful manner, and ultimately replied, "I think he is certainly a magician." He knew well that the Holy Prophet is not a magician either, but in order to devise an excuse for saying so, he argued, "Do you not see how his speech separates husband from wife, brother from brother, and father from son? This is the magical effect of faith. As soon as a person embraces the faith, he begins to hate his unbelieving mother, father, and other relatives." The verses describe him thus. He pondered and suggested. 18. Death unto him. How bad is the suggestion he has put forward? 19. Again, death unto him. How bad is the suggestion he has put forward? 20. Then he looked to those around him. 21. Then he frowned and scowled. 22. Then turned his back and waxed proud. 23. Then said, "This is nothing but traditional magic." 24. This is nothing but saying of a mortal. The word kadara is derived from tagdir, and literally denotes to suggest. The wretched Walid was fully convinced of the veracity of the messengership of the Holy Prophet, but his anger got the better of him, and being vanquished by his arrogance and conceit, he had decided to oppose him. However, he wanted to abstain from lying openly, so that he might not be exposed to shame and disgrace. Therefore, he pondered very carefully, and suggested that he should be labeled a magician on the grounds that his speech causes separation between father and son, and between brothers, as it happens in the case of sorcery. He is therefore cursed repeatedly in the verses cited above. Unbelievers abstained from telling lies. When we analyze, it would appear very clearly that all unbelievers and transgressors were involved in committing all kinds of sins and shameful deeds, but they abstained from the enormity of telling lies. Abu Sufyan's statement in the royal court of Heraclius shows that the pagans were willing to sacrifice their lives and children in opposing the Holy Prophet, but they were not willing to tell lies lest they are socially stigmatized as liars. Alas, in this so-called progressive world where everything moves retrogressively, telling lies is no sin. It is in fact treated as a great art. Let alone unbelievers, even the pious and religious Muslims do not find it hateful. They pride upon telling lies and getting others to tell lies. We seek Allah's refuge from such an attitude. Children's day with the father is a great boon. While mentioning the favors Allah had bestowed on Walid, the Holy Qur'an has said, "And sons present before his eyes." 13. This shows that just as the birth of children and their being alive are a boon of Allah, their staying with parents is also a great divine blessing, because it is the cause of coolness of their eyes and a satisfaction of their heart. Additionally, abiding in their presence, children can be of assistance to the parents in their service and businesses. But the progress which this retrogressive age is making is based on gold and silver currencies. Comfort and peace are founded on promissory notes. Parents throw away their children in foreign countries. They are happy at their children staying overseas for years, and it does not matter if they do not see their faces all their lives as long as they receive news of their huge earnings and salaries or income, enabling them to express their superiority to their family members. This indicates that they are unaware of the concept of peace and comfort. This to be the result of forgetting Allah, as the Quran says, "Those who forgot Allah, so He made them forget their own selves." Surah Al-Hashr, Ayah 19.
And children present with him.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12, for the Tafsir.
And spread everything before him, easing his life.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12, for the Tafsir.
Then he desires that I should add more.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12, for the Tafsir.
No, indeed he has been towards our verses obstinate.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12, for the Tafsir.
I will cover him with arduous torment.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12, for the Tafsir.
Indeed, he thought and deliberated.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12, for the Tafsir.
So may he be destroyed for how he deliberated.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12, for the Tafsir.
Then may he be destroyed for how he deliberated.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12 for the Tafsir.
Then he considered again.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12 for the Tafsir.
Then he frowned and scowled.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12 for the Tafsir.
Then he turned back and was arrogant.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12 for the Tafsir.
And said, "This is not but magic imitated from others."
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12 for the Tafsir.
This is not but the word of a human being.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12 for the Tafsir.
I will drive him into Sakar.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12 for the Tafsir.
And what can make you know what is Sakar?
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12 for the Tafsir.
It lets nothing remain and leaves nothing unburned.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12 for the Tafsir.
Blackening the skins.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12 for the Tafsir.
Over it are 19 angels.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 12 for the Tafsir.
And we have not made the keepers of the fire except angels. And we have not made their number except as a trial for those who disbelieve, that those who were given the scripture will be convinced, and those who have believed will increase in faith, and those who were given the scripture and the believers will not doubt, and that those in whose hearts is hypocrisy and the disbelievers will say, "What does Allah intend by this as an example?" Thus does Allah leave astray whom He wills, and guides whom He wills. And none knows the soldiers of your Lord except Him. And mention of the fire is not but a reminder to humanity.
And no one knows the hosts of your Lord but He. Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 31, Muqatil, among the leading authorities, says that this is rebuttal to Abu Jahl's statement. When he heard this verse which says that there are 19 angels in charge of hell, he addressed the youth of Quraysh and said that Muhammad has only 19 companions, so there is nothing to worry about. Bayhaqi records a narrative from Sadi that when verse Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 30 was revealed, a foolish Qurayshi unbeliever, Abu Azlain by name, spoke out, "O nation of Quraysh, I alone am sufficient for the 19. I will take care of 10 with my right arm and 9 with my left arm. Thus I will put an end to all 19 of them." On this occasion, this verse was revealed. O fools, first of all, one angel is sufficient for all. Moreover, the number 19 refers to the chiefs of angels. Under each of these angels, the number of Allah's angels is legion beyond human count or computation. Allah alone knows their number. They are ready at hand to carry out the punishment to the unbelievers and transgressors. In the next verses, there is the mention of the hereafter and its horrors. Sakar, hell, is one of the greatest things. Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 35. The pronoun in the phrase Innaha refers to Sakar, hell, which has been mentioned in one of the preceding verses. The word Kubar is the plural of Kuba, which is an adjective for Dahiya, or musiba calamity. The verse purports to say that hell, which the unbelievers will enter, will be one of the greatest calamities. Besides, there will be many different kinds of torments and tortures.
No, by the moon.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 31 for the Tafsir.
And by the night when it departs.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 31 for the Tafsir.
And by the morning when it brightens.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 31 for the Tafsir.
Indeed, the fire is of the greatest afflictions.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 31 for the Tafsir.
As a warning to humanity.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 31 for the Tafsir.
To whoever wills among you to proceed or stay behind.
To the one who wishes to come forward towards good deeds or to go back from them. Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 37. In this context, to come forward signifies coming forward towards faith and obedience, and takkar, to go backward, signifies moving away from faith and obedience. The verse purports to warn against the torment and torture of the hellfire. This applies to all human beings in general. Some accept the warning and are guided by the truth, and the unfortunate ones hold back from accepting the warning, turn away from it and reject it.
Every soul for what it has earned will be retained.
Everyone will be detained in the hell because of what he did. 38 Except the people of the right, i.e. those who will be given their book of deeds in their right hand. Surah Al-Muddaththir, ayah 38 to 39. The word rahina is used in the sense of marhuna will be detained. The word is derived from ran, to give something valuable to a pawnbroker as a security for a debt. The valuable thing is thus merely detained by the pawnbroker. He cannot use it or take advantage of it. Likewise, every person on the Day of Judgment will be detained in lieu of his sins, except those who will be given their book of deeds in their right hands. In this context, detention could refer to being detained in hell. In this case, the statement would mean that every person will be held in pledge in hell against his sins to receive punishment, except the people of the right. Context indicates that the people of the right are those who have repaid their debt, i.e. they have fulfilled their obligations in this world towards Allah and other human beings. In these instances, there is no need for them to be detained. This interpretation seems to be plain, simple, and straightforward. However, if detention refers to being held at some other place before giving account, or before admission into paradise or hell, it signifies that every person will be held to give an account of his deeds. No person will be permitted to move out unless the account is taken. In this case, the exception of the people of the right could refer to the sinless who are not accountable, such as minors or immature children, as explained by Sayyidina Ali. According to a tradition, a segment of the Holy Prophet's community would be exempted from accountability. It will enter paradise without having to account for actions. Possibly it could be referring to this segment. According to Surah Al-Waqi'ah, there will be 3 categories of people on the plain of gathering: 1 Sabiqun, the foremost, and Muqarraban, who have attained nearness to Allah; 2 the people of the right, and 3 the people of the left. On this occasion, the Muqarraban have been merged with the people of the right, and only the latter people have been mentioned. From this point of view, there is no express text which states that all the people of the right will be accepted, and will not be detained for accountability. The first interpretation, that is being held in hell, appropriately fits the context, and Allah knows best.
Except the companions of the right.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, ayah 38, for the Tafsir.
Who will be in gardens, questioning each other.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, ayah 38, for the Tafsir.
About the criminals.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, ayah 38, for the Tafsir.
And asking them, what put you into Sakar?
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, ayah 38, for the Tafsir.
They will say, we were not of those who prayed.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, ayah 38, for the Tafsir.
Nor did we use to feed the poor.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, ayah 38, for the Tafsir.
And we used to enter into vain discourse with those who engaged in it.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, ayah 38, for the Tafsir.
And we used to deny the day of recompense.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, ayah 38, for the Tafsir.
Until there came to us the certainty.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, ayah 38, for the Tafsir.
So there will not benefit them the intercession of any intercessors.
Then intercession of intercessors will not avail them. Surah Al-Muddaththir, ayah 48, the attached pronoun of tanfiyuhum refers to those sinners who have been mentioned in the preceding verses. They confessed to 4 crimes. 1, they did not perform obligatory prayers. 2, they did not feed the poor, that is, they did not spend on the necessities of the poor. 3, they indulged in mocking at the truth. Along with those who indulged in opposing Islam, were committing sins and shameful deeds. And 4, they denied the day of requital. This verse purports to say that whoever has these characteristics, including denial of the day of requital, is an infidel. The intercession of anyone who tries to intercede for an infidel will be of no benefit to him on the Day of Judgment. Even if all the intercessors join forces to intercede, it will not help. This is because intercession is only useful if the conditions for it are met. Therefore, the verse uses the plural expression, thus, intercession of intercessors. No intercession will benefit an unbeliever, but will benefit a believer. It is deducible from the verse under comment that, besides infidels, all Muslims, even though they may be sinners, will benefit from intercession, as many authentic hadith bear ample testimony to this. The intercessors will be the prophets of Allah, Allah's friends and righteous personalities. It is confirmed that the general body of believers will intercede for one another, and their intercession will be accepted. A special note. Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Mas'ud narrates that Allah's angels and prophets, the martyrs and the righteous, will intercede for sinners in the hereafter, and they will be delivered from hell by virtue of their intercession, except the 4 types of sinners who have been classified above, that is, those who failed to perform their obligatory prayer and to pay their zakah, those who opposed Islam with the opponents of Islam, and denied the hereafter. This shows that intercession will not be accepted for those who failed to perform their obligatory salah and pay their zakah. However, other narratives indicate that the correct view with regard to the verse under comment is that the unacceptability of intercession refers to those sinners who commit the 4 types of crimes that include the rejection of the hereafter. Besides the rejection, it is not necessary that sinners committing other sins should be punished in the same way. However, there are other hadith narratives that refer to certain major sins which deprive people of intercession. For instance, if a person denies the veracity of intercession, or if he denies the existence of the pond of Kauthar, he will have no share in either of the 2.
Then what is the matter with them, that they are from the reminder turning away?
So what has happened to them that they are turning away from the reminder? Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 49. The word tadkura, reminder, in this context, refers to the Holy Qur'an, because the word literally signifies a reminder or something that reminds. The Qur'an is unique in reminding Allah's attributes of perfection, His mercy and wrath, and the reward and punishment. Towards the end, the verse Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 54, has explained that the reminder is the Holy Qur'an that is rejected by them. The allergy of the infidels against the Holy Qur'an has been mentioned in verses Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 50 to 51 in the following words, as if they were wild donkeys fleeing from a lion. The word kaswar used in verse Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 51 has 2 meanings, 1 a lion, and 2 an archer or a hunter. Both meanings have been reported from the noble companions.
As if they were alarmed donkeys.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 49, for the Tafsir.
Fleeing from a lion.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 49, for the Tafsir.
Rather, every person among them desires that he would be given scriptures spread about.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 49, for the Tafsir.
No, but they do not fear the hereafter.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 49, for the Tafsir.
No, indeed, the Quran is a reminder.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 49, for the Tafsir.
Then whoever wills will remember it.
See Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 49, for the Tafsir.
And they will not remember except that Allah wills. He is worthy of fear and adequate for granting forgiveness.
He is worthy to be feared and worthy to forgive. Surah Al-Muddaththir, Ayah 56. Allah is Ul Taqwa in the sense that He alone is worthy to be feared and entitled to be obeyed. Ulul Magfirah signifies that He alone is the being who forgives the sins of even the greatest sinners whenever He so wishes. No one else has the power to do this.